Finding a good backup camera for your truck or car, I guess, is not as easy as it sounds. When you have to add one on, unless you buy the factory parts and have the full screen in your vehicle, it can get a little bit complicated as to what you really need. I've went through multiple ones, from solar powered ones to this one that plugs in basically just to your cigarette lighter adapter and is completely wired, to a wireless model that I have in my truck that I'm going to show you after this one. It's not as easy as what it sounds, and you don't get everything that you need, so stick with us. By no means am I saying everything's bad. It's just hard to get what you really want or need. Now this one just simply plugs in through a lot of different adapters and connections that you get to your cigarette lighter. And I mean, you get a lot of adapters and connectors to multiple different things in here. And finally, it all boils down to connecting up to this guy, which allows you to turn it on and off. We're bypassing this and just running it off a Milwaukee M12 battery at this point. This is a completely wired system, so you get 20 meters of wire for each of the two cameras. And it's cool. This is set up where it's decent. I think it's meant to go on more of a large truck or an RV, but in my case, the two cameras that I had probably were going to be cool, because I had one that I could use to back up to a hitch and another one that I could mount up on my back rack that would give me a better view and probably wouldn't get covered in snow while I'm plowing, and give me a view of what's happening with the back of the truck. This screen is 7 inches. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And I had a very, very hard time finding a place to put it in the truck. And finally, I decided I just can't do it because it's too much. But the cameras on it are decent. It kind of squishes them in to fit them in different places. And as you can see here, you know, we got the camera going and all this stuff. It works. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of different things you can do. Turn your volume up and down. You can switch camera positions. Why it won't do anything right now is beyond me, but that is something that you have to deal with a lot of these units. So if you're looking for a wired model, maybe for a camper or a semi-trailer or something like that, this would probably work, as long as you could get these wires in place. One thing that always bums me out when you're wiring this is you have to drill a hole large enough to get this connector through, but you really only need a hole the size of that wire. And if they had different style connectors that you could put on and off, it would make it a lot easier. They don't. So what I ended up with is this system here. Here's the camera. It basically just mounts to your license plate, and it is hardwired into my trailer harness. Other than that, everything else is up here. It's pretty much wireless. But what you end up with is a mirror that straps on to your mirror. And I can see this is going to be a pretty tough one. When it is turned off, you can see it's a mirror, but you have a cigarette lighter adapter down here. Push it in and it turns on the unit. This is the antenna going to the back. Green says it's connected, and there we go. Now it's interesting because it's kind of a dual focal point. It's still a mirror, but you can see that this is the forward camera, which is right here, and this side is the reverse camera. Now there's not much to see here, and I have to move around, and you can change this so that this camera is the full camera. There's the front, there's the back. You can see I have a lot of water on the windshield here, not much to see out the front. This is the problem with this, and it's going to be the problem with it while we're driving, is basically we can't see a whole bunch in the bright daylight, but you can see here by probably just moving a little bit, we can see a little bit more, and possibly not. The one thing that really gets me on this is if you can see, maybe you really can't. Got a date that's here, and it's always there. So it's hard to pick anything up, but as a focal plane, you kind of get used to it because you can use it as a mirror if you look at it in one way, but if you look at it at a different focal plane, it will actually show you what's happening. So I like that part of it, but it's not always easy to see. So just because I haven't found the perfect backup camera yet doesn't mean it isn't out there. It doesn't mean that you have not found it already. If you have, leave a link in the description, help other people out, talk about it a little bit, tell them what you found, let them find it too. Maybe I'll pick it up and try to use it and do a video on it. But you can see where I'm at, pluses and minuses basically to the two systems that I have here. But at the same point, I think what I have works pretty fair. So as always, give us a like in this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.